Hello, it's Sue Fletcher here, the astrologer, and today I want to talk to you about the sun in your chart. So whatever sun sign you are, you will have the sun in a particular house. So there's 12 houses, and each house represents a sun sign. So whatever sun sign you are and whatever house your sun is in will give you a layer of that, the meaning of that sun sign. So I'm going to talk you around the chart. So if you have a first house sun, that is actually the Aries house, and it really means that you will have a layer of Aries about you. So whatever sun sign you are, if you have a first house sun, then you're going to have this layer of Aries. So what's Aries like? You might know some Aries, you might have some around you, so think about that. But they're very they want to win, they like to be in control, they've always got a project on the go, and they don't go in for anything unless they're going to do it well, and particularly if they go in for sport or anything like that, they're in it to win it, basically. So maybe you've got your sun in the second house. So the second house is the Taurus house, so you might know some Taurians, you might have some Taurians around you. They are very stable, reliable, and it's an earth sign, and they can be stubborn as well, but on the whole they're peace loving, and they're nice to have around. Now they do like their bills paid, so security is really important. So whatever sun sign you are, if your sun is in the second house, then those are going to be part of you. Values, what they value is important. Their possessions are important to them, I think they're the sign that like to collect things, and the things that are around them make them feel happy, really. So they don't like to be, without their comforts. They're really into comfort, into food as well. So that's the Taurian. And if you, as I said, whatever sun sign you are, if your sun is in the second, then that's going to be a little bit about you as well. You're going to have this layer of Taurus. So the third house is the Gemini house. So what are Geminis like? Again, you might have some Geminis around you. They're very talkative. They're very curious. They like to do lots of things. They're known for starting things and not finishing them. They've always got something on the go. It might be that they're involved with their local community, and brothers and sisters are quite important, and short journeys, like lots of dashing here and dashing there is very Gemini. So it might be that your sun is in the fourth house, and that's the Cancerian house. So again, you might have some Cancerians in your life, so look at what they're like. They are the mother. The moon is their ruler, and they want to look after. They want to, make sure everybody's fed and looked after and cared for. And very often they put themselves on the back burner. They don't look after themselves, because they're so busy looking after everybody else. This sign is very into the home and the roots. So the family is important, the home is important, and it might be that you like to do family trees and find out what happened in the past. So then we come to the fifth house, which is the Leo house. So I have 3 granddaughters who have their sun in the fifth house, and they're all into singing and dancing, and that's what Leos are like. The actors and actresses of the zodiac are the Leos. So, and I have one who's a Libra, one who's a Scorpio, Libra, Scorpio and Virgo, but they've all got their suns in the fifth, and so they are, they go to stage coach, which is acting and singing classes, and so it's it's part of them, and they like to perform and they like to be on the stage, so that's great. also with the fifth house, it's also into children. So Leos can have quite a few children, and whatever your birth sign is, if your sun is in the fifth, you might be into children, you might teach children, or you might, have children yourself. So then we come to the sixth house, which is the Virgo house, and this is the house of work and health. So if your sun's in the sixth house, you will probably have an interest in health and healing and diet, because that's what the sixth house is all about. And it could be that you have to look at health because you've not been well for some reason yourself, and then you go on to help other people. But that's the sixth house, and it's the Virgo house. So then we come to the seventh house, which is the house of Libra. So if your sun is in the seventh house, relationships are going to be very important to you. So these could be all your relationships, it could be work, it could be your children, but particularly your spouse is going to be important to you, and you need to have harmony between you, good communication between you, and you're not going to be satisfied until you get, the perfect partner, basically, if you've got a seventh house sun. So then we come to the eighth house, which is the Scorpio house. So with Scorpio, in whatever sun sign you are going to want to look into the depths of things. Research, finding out things are going to be quite important to an eighth house sun person. Also, an interest in psychic abilities and mediumship and the occult. There will probably be an interest. It might be that you're worried about it, so you don't go there, but it's actually a natural ability. So then we come to the ninth house, which is the Sagittarius house. And I have a ninth house sun. You remember me saying I'm a Taurian, but I have a ninth house sun. So that's why I'm interested in working in astrology. I love philosophy. I like to know why I'm here, which is all to do with Sagittarius. Also, I've done lots of learning about myself, self-development, which is, very ninth house stuff. Also long distance travel, and I've travelled all over the world with very little money. So I was obviously meant to travel to far-flung places. I've been, as I say, all over the world. And as they say, travel broadens the mind. So that's the ninth house. So now if you have a 10th house sun, this is the Capricorn house. Now, again, my son has a 10th house sun, and he's a Cancerian. So he is very into the home, like I said, and looking after children and providing, and the home is very important. But he's also very into his work, because the 10th house is the career house. And it's kind of the whole of the life revolves really around career. It's not work. The 6th house was work. The 10th house is the career house. So a career for a 10th house sun is very important, and their whole life will revolve around it, which is true of my son. Okay, so then we have the 11th house. So the 11th house is the house of groups, and that can be in the community, but it can also be to do with the world. And my daughter has an 11th house sun, and she's always been involved with groups. And when she left university, she's actually got a sports degree. She started doing aerobics, teaching aerobics, and then so that was in with groups. And she then went on to do yoga. So she's trained with the British Wheel of Yoga and meditation, and she's now running boot camps with her husband. So it's all to do with groups of people, and that's basically what her life is about. And then we come to the 12th house, which is the last house. So this is the Pisces house. Oh, I might not have said to you the last house, the 11th house, was the Aquarius house. So that, if you know any Aquarians, think about, whether they are involved with groups of people. It's a very humanitarian house as well. So yes, the last house is the Pisces house. So what's Pisces about? Well, it's very spiritual. It can be very connected to the higher realms. There can be also a need to look after people. If you're Pisces, then or any of the water signs, but particularly Pisces and Cancer, then these are the nurses. These are the people that look after other people. And obviously it's very sensitive. It's very it can play the victim, and you have to be careful not to do that, not to play the martyr, really, and look at the positive side of Pisces, which is, as I said, very spiritual. It's about not isolating yourself, because 12th house people may want to do that. It is the house of meditation, so and the higher realms, but it also rules films and fantasy. So it could be that a 12th house person might write about fantasy in some way, or poetry, which is very 12th house. So I hope that's helped you and given you an inside look into why two sun signs who are the same, two Pisces people, are not the same. I mean, there are a lot more things that make you unique and different. But if you're whatever sun sign you are, you have to look at where the sun is in your birth chart. Which house is it in? So I will be back to you with more astrology another day, and so I'm signing off for now. So bye for now. Bye.